What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about SwiftCoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. Here we are at about 1.35 cents now on this, the 21st of April. It's a new day, you guys. 21 hours left in the day here, and we are inside of this very nice looking bull flag, right? It's a very nice bull flag, and it will take you to very nice prices as well. If we're looking at the base of the flagpole here, I wouldn't say it's the low of this overall move here, but rather the low of this green day here. From that low to that high, 155% move. That's nice. From the low to high, that's your flagpole, and you take it to the base of the flag itself, which is at this low here. Yes, a little bit higher. Let's put it a little bit lower, if anything, to be conservative. Okay, so right there, that is a measure move that would take you all the way up to about 3.145 cents. 3.14 cents, essentially, right around there. Now, with measure moves, you can either hit it, you can miss it, you can exceed it, whatever. It's an idea. It's not a requirement, but that is a pretty good idea right there. I mean, from the high to a low of this overall pattern, that puts you right at the 786 fib retracement. It's pretty common. It's not common, I should say. It's not common to, from your high to low, rip through your golden ratio, right? It's very common to find resistance at your golden ratio zone and then pull back, unless you see some of the things that we're seeing here, okay? I'm going to take the measure move away because we know that it's right there where the 786 is, okay? So we know that. We don't need to mess with that, okay? Oftentimes, when working your way to the golden ratio, you'll do a couple of things, right? From your low, you'll go to the 382, maybe you wick above it a little bit, and then you close below it like you did here, and then you go to your 236, and then you go to your golden ratio, right? If you find resistance at your 236, you might go to your 069 and come back up. You might be a little bit more of a stair-stepping pattern to your golden ratio, but inevitably you get there, right? And it's not always like this. It's not always like this, but oftentimes, whenever you consolidate around the 382, you don't hit the 236 as you haven't here, and especially so if you have an interaction with the 0.5, you don't just wick above the 382 and close below it, but you actually go all the way up to or through the 0.5, and you're consolidating at the 382. I know that's a lot to throw at you, but you guys, I'm not making this up. This is 9 years of Fibonacci analysis, technical analysis in the making right here. I've seen it enough times to know that this interaction, I would say it's maybe 50-50. Let's say 50-50. That you tear through the golden ratio and you go to the 786, okay? Where most of the time, it's more like 70-30 that you stop at the golden ratio and then come down. You see the difference, right? It's not a guarantee, but the times when you do move through the golden ratio on the first attempt, which from a high to a low, this would be the first attempt, those times oftentimes look like this. The times that also look like this are where you bounce from your low, you go up to your 382, and instead of consolidating below, if you consolidate above it, or you're ping-ponging between the 0.5, those are the times clearly that you go above the golden ratio as well. I would say it's even more than a 50-50 chance at that point. But here I would say we have a really good chance of going there, because not only is it more of a toss-up between finding resistance at the golden ratio or the 786 or even higher potentially, but you also have the bull flag, the pattern here that suggests this as well. If we take the high to the low, that was a lot of words, man, just to say I think we're going higher, right? That's about it. It's a lot of jargon just to say those simple things, man. I swear I could make these videos shorter if you guys just knew what I was saying without me having to explain it. But sometimes words are confusing, right? That's the biggest problem I think that's the problem that a lot of people have in this world is miscommunication. You don't have enemies, you just misunderstood them, or they misunderstood you. You know, you don't actually not like this person, you just don't understand them. That's, don't get me wrong, nobody likes, there's certain types of people who maybe nobody should like, but that's like, rapists, pedophiles, certain types of human beings that are a little substandard, but anyways, I'm getting off on a whole different topic here. Castrate all pedos. Anyways, we're at 1.35. I don't care who you are, what walk of life you are. I think that's something we can all agree with, unless you're a pedo, right? From this high to low, I don't know how we even got here, man. From the high to low here, it's very common with smaller Fibonacci retracements, and I would say this is a smaller one. Look at the daily time frame. It's not the smallest thing in the world, but compared to these very significant macro moves, that's a small fib right there. It's very common to see deeper extensions. Deeper extensions are defined as anything that's above the 1618, really the 1886 and beyond. So it's very common with these smaller retracements to see deeper extensions. We don't know if we have access to the deeper extensions until we break above the golden ratio. So all we have to do is get above about 2.67 cents, which I think we will. What is that? Is that the golden ratio in itself too, from a high to a low here? It's the 6.9, so it's a little bit above. So it's actually not as hard to break. Just less common, right? But if we get above there, there's no stopping us from that measure move area at about 3.2, 3.3 cents, maybe even higher. It's very possible. And again, the likelihood that we go to the secondary zone above the golden ratio with this being a smaller fib, it's better than if it were a large fib, right? But still, technically, we have to be patient until we wait for the golden ratio. We have plenty of reasons to suspect that we go here. Now, again, running with the idea that the measure move is just an idea, right? It's not a guarantee. It's just an idea. Here you're stopping at a few different areas. The 786, the 1886200, you could stop there. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe you don't quite get there and you fall short of your measure move. You stop right at the top of the golden ratio zone here at the 6.9 and the 1.618 here, maybe. Or just maybe you go to the 2272. And it's very common with the 2272 to go just above it. Right there we have the 886 as well. There's just so many fibs on fibs lining up here that makes a lot of sense. It's very common to go just above the 2272. That's at about 3.6 cents. So I would say even a little bit above the 886 is possible, maybe as high as 4 cents. Is a consideration that we should make. All of those targets, if we just address them as we go here from the current price of 1.35 cents, would indicate something on the lines of about a 100% move from here, maybe a 120% move to a 140% move from here. That's the most probable outcome, I would say, out of all of these moves. If not, 170% or damn well near 200%, but just under 200% right there. Yeah. All of those expectations could be had by the end of this month, because this, again, this move supposedly, allegedly, would correlate very well with this bull flag move. So if it's a breakout of this move, I don't think that you're going to just move up in 4 days and see resolution of this move. But maybe a week and a half, maybe 6 days. Who knows? Maybe it's less time, but I think that you will move up in a very timely fashion, and by the end of this month, you will see some higher prices up at this area. Certainly above 3 cents. That's my expectation. I suppose at a minimum, we're looking at 2.6 cents, but I really do think you're going to go above 3 cents, 3.2, 3.3 cents, something like that. Maybe as high as 4 cents altogether. And then inevitably, of course, by the end of that's by the end of this month, but by the end of this next move, by the end of the next phase, right? Here was one move, you found resistance for a while, or turbulence for a while. Here is one move, you found turbulence for even longer. This next move, I think, is going to be rather miraculous. It's going to be the largest move of the cycle for you so far. Maybe it'll be the largest move of the cycle altogether. I don't know. Maybe it's the large. I wouldn't even be surprised. I've been saying this a lot lately for various cryptos, but I only say it when I mean it, man. I think you're going to see the largest move that you've ever seen, SwiftCoin. I think you're going to see the largest move you've ever seen in your entire life with this next phase. And you're going to go all the way up to prices at least at 14 cents. If not, most likely, I would think somewhere around 23 cents, 29 cents, or even above. Maybe somewhere in between all those targets. But that's where I expect you will be by the end of June. Somewhere out like this, right? That's like the end of June right there, something up like that. So I got nothing else to say. I think I've said everything that I need to say. I think with Bitcoin moving up like this today on the 21st, like this, breaking out, I think that does bode well for SwiftCoin and the rest of the altcoins as well. Ethereum, what about ETH here? Ethereum, what are you doing? Ethereum's moving up too? Yes, good. Good. And I think Ethereum hit its golden ratio, didn't it? Let me see here real quick. Hold on. This is big, right? I know that SwiftCoin is not, I'm pretty sure it's not an ERC20 token, but yeah, you hit your golden ratio. You're there, man. You did it. You're there. You're at your low. I think you did it, man. This is a big deal. If Ethereum and Bitcoin are moving up, this could be the beginning of alt season finally, the long-awaited, fabled alt season, and it makes all the sense of the world that in alt season you see the biggest move that you've seen this cycle. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be a good time. I look forward to seeing how the rest of this week goes. Bye-bye.